Joe Baker. In this episode of Joe Baker's Remedy Report, we're just going to take a look at some of the settings of DeepSeek Coder and what you can do to maybe get it to integrate a little better with Cline. It's an open source plugin for Visual Studio Code for editing, for writing code on your own computer. For this system, you'll probably need a really strong GPU on your laptop or desktop computer. But some of these principles can apply to other systems that you use. We'll particularly be looking at how you use a tool called Ollama to host the DeepSeek large language model, and how to create a special, I think it's called a gguf file, that gives you gives DeepSeek Coder some of the clues about how to interoperate well with Visual Studio Code and either Cline or Roo Code. Roo Code is a fork off of Cline, C-L-I-N-E, and well, let's get into it, shall we? Here is my other display. All right. First thing is, definitely get into the Discord group for Cline. C-L-I-N-E. I don't know what's going on here. I may have to restart it. And I have this little thing I have to do every so often. After I put my computer to sleep, for some reason the NVIDIA graphics driver on my Ubuntu desktop doesn't work. Here's what that file looks like. Pretty straightforward. Let's see. We are stopping the Ollama service. We're reloading the NVIDIA UVM module, and then we're loading that module again, and then we start Ollama over again. That's basically what that is. Kind of nice to review that. I haven't looked at what it's actually doing in the background. I've just come to depend on that. So, yeah, the Discord is just not working for me. I wonder what's wrong with it. Anyway, this is where I found some information about a web page, and I'll give you this link. In fact, I'm going to go into I can share that with you. The problem is that it is in here's a QR code for it. So the wait. Yep. So that's the page. It's in Chinese, so you may have to run it with Google Chrome, and that's what I've done. But again, here's the QR code for this page of instructions. This is where I found the instructions, and you might find that useful. Okay. So I've translated it, and special thanks to Shippy Chan, who has this YouTube channel at CP-CHAN. So you heard the article he wrote before about running the DeepSeek R1 on a local GPU was quite popular. So the nice thing here is again, you're not paying per use charges. For high-end PCs. Oh, I want to check my audio, make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear. A little late to do that, but still better late than never. Test microphone. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. All right, I've got that little bit of audio issue. It's okay. We've got one person watching. All right, thank you. So here's the interesting thing. They go in here about Cline. We talk about it. He's doing it on Windows 11. I'm running it on Ubuntu 2404. I've got 64 gigs of RAM. He's done it on 32. He's got a 3080 video chip. I've got a 4090. So mine has 16 gigabytes of video RAM. So I like that. And then he's got this thing he talks about in this article. We'll use DeepSeek, this particular version. Whoa. And it's very close, but it's not the exact characters. I had to change it up a little bit in order to get it to run. And I really want to do this because I'm trying to make some notes so that I can repeat my efforts in the future if I have to. So you got to run in Olama, I think .ai and run the olama.com. And you got to have that running. And then I don't know what he's talking about. There's this thing he talks about. I didn't have to use it. But this file is really awesome. And I was able to do it. I had to change this line or this part of the code. And then I was able to get it to work. All right, let's go down. So what I did is I copied all this, up in the corner of that, there's a little icon for copying it. You click that, and it copies the whole section of code, not just what I have highlighted here. The whole section of code in the black box. And then I went into here, and I went to this file. I went into the temp directory, cd, what is it, ~/tmp. Or no, I think I went. Yeah, I'm in ~/temp, ~/tmp. And I like to have a temporary directory. It's just handy to have. It's for files that aren't going to have to be around long, and that you can always delete whenever you want to. Sorry, my toe's been itching. A cat scratched it some time ago. All So let me figure out how to do this. Oh, it's the wrong window, that's why. Is this the one? I doubt it. Okay, so VI, and then it's this is what I call the file. This here, DeepSeek R1 distill Quen 14B Q4 _K _M model. And this is going to be a new model name that's going to be inside of our Ollama thing. So I edited that file, and I commented out the line that says from DeepSeek here. Maybe what I can do is make this bigger on the screen for you guys. That'll work. I commented out with putting that asterisk or the pound symbol in front. And then I inserted in on top a new from line. And then I got the URL. This URL is the closest I could find for downloading something that approximated what this said. I had to go out and find a URL for it. And so I put that in there, and then that, I think, works. Now, what I did, I did an Ollama pull command. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I've got to put myself somewhere else. I did this Ollama pull command, and that's what you can see happened back here. I said Ollama pull this, and then it said pulling manifest. It pulled this one file. It was 9 gigabytes in size, and then a few of the other things, and then it verifies all of the downloads with a SHA-256 digest or a hash, and it wrote the manifest. Right. So then what I did in a different window, I guess it was this one. I did this command, Ollama create, and then this DeepSeek information file name. That's what it's going to be listed as. And then -F and this file name that we just downloaded from I'm not sure if that even worked. Guess it did. Oh, that's the name of the file that we created in the temp directory, the -F. And then, of course, it refers to that URL. And so that works good. Let's see what happens if I hit it again. And so it did. And using existing layer, the hash matched, everything was existing, writing the manifest, success. So somewhere it actually wrote this code that we had in this file here. In this model, we wrote some of this information. Now, there's some of these things like the CTX. I might be able to increase that a bit for my system. This is brilliant stuff. The DeepSeek model would be useless to my Visual Studio Code if it didn't have this file to tell it the kinds of things to do. And I've got to say thank you to this user out here for posting this file because I would be utterly frustrated, right? So it gives information about how it can interact and write code in the Visual Studio Code environment. So let's take a look at it a little bit here. What do we got in Visual Studio? This icon over on the side brings up the extensions area, and you can choose, here's Cline. This is one that I like very much. And then there's also one called Roo Code. It used to be called Roo Cline, as you can see, but it's got the name Roo Code. And let's take a look at what versions we have. We're up to 3.3.5. 19 hours ago was the latest one of this one released. We've got it installed. Up on Cline, 3.2.5 is the last one. And let's see, install specific version 1 week ago was 3.2.5. Roo Code seems to track a little faster and has more bold updates, and so it's a pretty cool thing. But of course they come from similar background. They've got a Reddit channel. I don't see their they've got they're doing it. Open. I'm not going to do that now. Oh, and I apologize if I wasn't showing you what I was doing. So let's go back into the Visual Studio Code tool. Yeah, here I was trying to show you all this stuff and it wasn't even on the screen. This is Visual Studio Code. You've got your Explorer here, a search tool, source control, run and debug. Let's see, Remote Explorer, extensions. That's where I want you to click. And then you search up in here for Cline. And you'll find these two extensions, Roo Code and Cline, and you can install them. There's, I think, an option here for install. Mine is already installed, so it doesn't look the same. And it'll load that in, and you can get all the stuff in here. So configuring it. Let's go into Roo Code. Roo Code and Cline are configured very similarly, although they're starting to have some differences. Can I zoom out on this a little? Hopefully that looks okay for you guys. So once you launch it, it has this icon over here. It's kind of hard to see in the color. It's like a rocket ship for Roo Code. You can see it looks a lot like that. And it's over here. That's how you navigate into it. And you have on the left here, you've got some of these prompts that you can use. Let's see. So here's the settings. And what I've done is I've chosen the API provider to be Ollama. It's here. And then it looks at all the AI large language models I have installed on my machine and allows me to pick which one I want. Here's that one that we referenced in the file, in the template. And we don't want that one. We want the one it created where it put all those special instructions with it. So that's what this one is. DeepSeek R1 14B Q4 _K _M : latest. Well, there. So, and then there's all these options down here you can do. You know, you can approve operations if they're read-only. That'll save you a lot of time. Always approve write operations. Well, that's a little bit risky. Automatically create and edit files without requiring approval. Delay after writes to allow diagnostics to detect potential problems. I'll just leave that at 1 second. Always approve browser actions. Always retry failed API requests. Is not checked. Always approve MCP tools. MCP is a protocol made by Anthropic, and it's kind of a cool thing. Some kind of context. It essentially write programs that perform functions, and this is more efficient than having the AI try to do it every time. So it builds its own tools that it can use. I had one, for example, just for checking the time. Always approve mode switching between AI models. A lot of things here I haven't seen before. Oh, allowed auto execute commands. So if you want to always approve allowed execute operations, you can add these commands in here. This is kind of cool. It'll automatically bring up a little window with a web browser in it, and you can change the port size of that. And then it creates screenshots of the code as it's going, and it's pretty powerful because not only does it write the code, it helps you run it and helps you troubleshoot it in certain environments. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I've run an Nginx web server, and I had it help me with writing the control scripts to get that Nginx server running and to integrate it with some of the code I had to run in the background. So it's nice. Anyway, there's a lot of tools that you can try out here. But we're done with the settings for now. And let's do a let's terminate this. Let's say analyze. Let's see. Remove any trace of the erroneous concept that this has something to do with being a trading bot from the documentation. So now it's running, and we can look at some metrics and see we can see that we're burning 121 watts of power. And what it's writing over here, users provided a task to remove any trace of the erroneous trading bot concept. Man, I hope I'm in the right directory. Yep. So we're in the proof of content directory. Wants to read this file. I'm going to hit auto approve, and you watch it. It'll go to town. File not found. I couldn't find the README file. Well, this isn't working as well as it did before. You know what might be happening? I'm going to cancel this. Terminate. One of the things I find sometimes is that I have to exit out of Visual Studio Code and then jump back in. Oh, here's something in here. "19 hours ago." All right. Thought maybe there was a new version. So let's resume this task and see if it responds a little differently. We should start seeing files open over on this side and watch how they get edited. Here we're seeing some requests, some analysis of the README file. And for some reason, it's not working right. Here's the README file. and a North Star file. And then we'll go back to and then I've noticed that it loops a lot here, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm going to cancel this, terminate, and I'm going to go to cline instead. I think I'm going to restart VS Code. We'll go, again, we're going to go into cline, which is this robot kind of with robot face with the eyes. And let's let's look at some of the settings in here. Custom instructions. I used to have custom instructions in here, and because I was working on a trading bot, there was that information in there, and that's why we've got hints of things in the new README to talk about a trading bot and that stuff and the trading logic and all that. That stuff isn't supposed to be in here, but it migrated out, and you learn these things as you go along. Let me check on the chat room, see if anybody's asking questions. We are live, broadcasting on Joe Baker's Remedy Report, and that's me. I want to check on here and see what we've got. See, we were using the wrong model in here in cline. We want to do this one. This is the one that I wrote the template for and how it's referenced. So I'll click done, and whenever I change that, it seems to be good to bounce out and come back in. Visual Studio Code, go back into cline. Remove all aspects of trading. So here we go. Let's see if we get all these things working together, and if it'll run as nicely as I saw it before. There, now it's going into the code, and it's changing. It changed the file to remove. Well, I still see things in here that talk about the trading bot and all that. See new changes. Oh yeah, this is the nice thing too. It it shows you the changes, and I think it allows you to roll them back. So I think it removed this the red. New changes. Close that. Well, here's this stuff has to get removed. And this should be Maria DB. And I don't think we're using Django. Project structure. Just delete all that. Python trading bot. Let's see. Nope, it's not a Python trading bot. That's another program I'm working on. I'll get back into it, but I want to dabble with this local language model and make sure that I can trust it to write code and to not mangle it all up. And then once I get that going, I think I will go back over and start using it. I think we're on Python 3.9 on that other one. All right, and then Control S to save it. And there's that. Let's see, the North Star document. I think we're good. All right. Yeah, evidencebuilder.com. That's one of my websites. And well, I don't know if I want to explain what I'm doing with it at this point, but let's see. How about we do a new task? we need to be able to take pictures with the Android and iOS apps. I think we're maybe in architect mode. I'm surprised it doesn't automatically requires explicit approval. So I'm typing yes. Let's see, we've got pretty much everything turned on. So it did something with React to get some of this code in. I'll just keep tell it to proceed. It found a typo. Like it had done these things and it saw that these things weren't there, weren't found. It analyzed that and came back. So I might need to modify our template a little bit. Looks like maybe there's an error in some of the code. Response. Let me zoom in on that for you. Response interrupted by a tool use result. Only one tool may be used at a time and should be placed at the end of the message. Proceeding anyway. All right. Well, I think that's about all I've got. Um, it's not running as smoothly as I'd expected, but it is farther along than it was. So that's good. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. This show's a production of forgivenesscapital.com, where we champion the infinite worth of every human being. And we're trying to create a currency based on forgiveness, acts of forgiveness. So there you go. Bye for now.